So let's get a plot summary out of the way, and then we can talk more about this thing. A diplomat's son is kidnapped by terrorists blackmailing the U.S. government for plans of a new type of nuclear weapon. A friend of the diplomat puts together a squad of showgirls to rescue the son.
To rescue the sun?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like the core backwards.
Oh, okay.
Yes. They have to restart this movie.
It's sunshine.
And yes, you heard that correctly. Their first option was recruiting a bunch of showgirls and training them to become commandos.
Yeah. 10 days.
Because apparently one of them could kind of fight.
The main broad of this movie is in a bar talking to the bartender, and they keep cutting to like showgirls like on their break or whatever. They finished a show, and then two tough guys walk in and they're like, "Hey, lady, grr," and just start pushing her around in nonsense. And then there's a badly choreographed fight scene where she sort of beats them up. And
I'll get security, Jan.
What's wrong, boys? I thought I'm supposed to be the weaker sex. All right, you creeps want any more? Come and get it.
That's enough, Jen. You passed the test.
Jim, what's going on?
Sorry about that. Had to see if you still had it.
Well,
Obviously, you still do.
she takes him back to the dressing room, where all the showgirls are just standing around, just
and this is
chatting.
like this is the first excruciating scene because it literally he walks in, he's like, "Got a mission. Can't tell you anything about it. But if you come, you're going to get $500 a week, and when it's done, you get $25,000. And they're like, "Ooh, money! I like money."
Yeah.
And then like it begins about 8 times of them going, "Well, what's the mission? I can't tell you, but you'll once you're picked, we're going to tell you."
If you pass the training.
But what's the mission? I can't tell you. Once you are picked, it goes on.
It's like watching Death Proof.
Yeah.
Let's talk in circles
Yeah.
with all these chicks yelling over each other.
So they go out and they get in a van and ride out to the obstacle course.
Yes,
the training
military
facility.
obstacle course.
Yeah.
which involves a rusted out drain pipe, 8 tires,
and a puddle of water.
a puddle of water,
And a wall.
and a plywood wall.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
That is what the obstacle course
that
consists
puddle
of.
of water is at least 1.5 feet across.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
probably at least a couple inches deep.
Yeah. It's tough to
That's
jump
intimidating.
in heels.
And the water was a little
They weren't
dirty.
even. They were not wearing heels.
No, but they're wearing like tank tops.
They're all wearing white tank
and
tops
Hooters
and shorts.
waitress shorts.
Yeah. Yeah. And their hair's all done. And
Yeah.
they're
Camel
looking
toe shorts.
fabulous.
Well, and they get out of this bus, or not even a bus. It's like a cargo van.
yeah.
It's a church van.
But they get out, and there's like 25 of them that get out of this little tiny van.
It's fun.
Like you wonder if the back door, like the way they frame it, you
the
wonder
way
if
it
the
was-
back door was open and they were
coming
just
in through the
running
back.
them through the
That's
back.
exactly
because-
what they were doing.
They only had one van
Yes.
for screen purposes.
The general or whoever he is just like,
All right, ladies, you're going to be soldiers and this is a top secret mission, and this makes perfect sense to me. I'm a General Grr.
and here's your drill sergeant.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then he's done, except for going off screen to ogle them through binoculars.
Binoculars, even though they're
well,
5
looks
feet
at the
away.
one girl with just a massive rack.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Massive. Every time he's looking, that's like the frame with the little binocular outline on the frame.
It's so massive, it looks like her hips have boobs.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how far down they're hanging.
Yeah. To the point where it interferes with her learning how to shoot because she can't put the
She
gun on
can't
her
hold the
shoulder
gun correctly.
I no longer have a shoulder.
because it's all boobs. It's like the boobs extend further
It's like
out
one big boob.
past her elbows. And
Yes. And then they go, "That's enough for today. All right. You've done so well, you can use the officer's pool. Go get your bikinis on."
change in your swimsuits.
And we're like, wait, what?
We'll announce who
Yep.
has been selected for the squad.
And then it's
that was the
bikini
part-
pool party.
That was the part they thankfully cut from Full Metal Jacket is when boot camp is over.
Everyone
Yeah.
gets to the officer's pool.
yeah.
all right.
talking to a showgirl.
They pick them all, and they're like, all right, and they take them to the ambassador, and the ambassador goes, what the fuck is this? Are you fucking kidding me? My son is being held hostage,
My poor son.
and you bring me 9 showgirls that you've only just trained today to save him.
In a barrel.
And he's just like, well, man, we're out of options here. And he's like, no, fuck you. You got the goddamn military.
Yeah.
And then, but the guy's like, oh, man, we're out of options here, dude. And so he's like, all right, show me what you got.
Send
and so
them.
they karate chop the 2 guards there. And
Yeah, which,
the guy's
you
like,
know.
and he gives the knowing,
How
like,
rude.
yeah, and he gives the knowing, like, oh, okay.
They can
These
beat up
chicks
guys
do know what
surprisingly.
they're doing.
Yeah.
Konnichiwa, bitches.
So that's when they're like, all right, here's your mission. And they send them to a hotel room, which, get used to this hotel room.
This
Because
just becomes a rotation
They will
of...
walk into this hotel room in the exact same shot at least a half dozen times.
At least.
And they will show all of them file in. And then they're like, hey, check this place out. This is a really great hotel room, even though it is one of the ugliest hotel rooms I think I've ever seen.
It's pretty awful, but they like it.
But yeah, they get in the bedroom, and there is a giant hot tub.
Yeah. Hot tub.
Humongous hot tub. And they're like, hey, check it out. Hot tub.
But one of them goes, oh, wait. I heard that there was a water shortage
shortage.
in the desert. Maybe we should all just fill it up and all get in there at once.
Cut to...
That's usually what the dude, like, there should be a
should
token
be a-
dude, like,
a dude accompanying them.
we're out in the
Yeah.
desert and there's a water shortage
Yeah.
here in Flagstaff.
They just forgot to include that character.
Yeah.
For some reason, that dude who thought
For
up
some
this
reason,
plan
Jan becomes
didn't
the
come
one.
along. Yeah.
Jan becomes the dude.
Right.
He's like, let's all get in the tub.
So they do.
Yeah. So cut to all the chicks in the tub.
Which so
And get used to that, too.
yeah, they're all in
Because-
the tub and they're splashing around and they're doing their stupid jokes and everything, and then the phone starts ringing. And then they start making jokes about the phone ringing, and then they start bitching about the phone ringing. Meanwhile, they keep cutting to the phone that's ringing. It's like, answer the goddamn phone.
This man's son,
You are highly trained
his
commandos.
life is in your hands, dude.
Highly trained? Really? We're going to go with
highly trained. Trained
No.
by the finest soldiers. So finally they get the phone. And someone on the phone says something. And then they all get into Jeeps and they drive
Jeep,
across
sweet Jeep.
the Arizona desert. With
Sweet Jeep.
Yeah. And they find a camp
yeah.
and they
Sweet
they, like all
Sneak
these
in.
well this is like kind of night because they sneak in because like all these dudes are playing poker or having a nap or drinking.
Smoking cigars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they just bust in the door and shoot everyone.
Murder everyone. Chicks bust in, kill all the dudes, and then roll back out in the Jeeps, and then cut
Because
to
they didn't find the guy.
Cut to them walking in the hotel room,
and getting
stripping
in the
down
tub.
and getting in the hot tub.
And then,
And then
And
complaining
then the
about
phone rings.
how hard
The
their
phone
day, complaining about how hard
Yes.
their day was. Like,
Right. Oh, I'm
a
so
tough-
dirty.
tough day
Mm,
murdering.
Tired.
Oh, Jeep riding.
And then this repeats this weird ass cycle where they go to a camp and murder a bunch of dudes and then come back and get in the tub and the phone rings and then they go murder some dude. It's like,
It is a sequence.
yeah.
And then one of them they go to, they just sneak in, and there's a tank.
Yeah. There's a bunch of dudes in tents.
And so,
They're not in tents. They're
Yeah.
they're in structures known as tents.
but I think it's
Those
Jan.
dudes were intense.
Jan like sneaks up next to the guy on the tank
Yeah.
and gives him
You're
the
too tense.
hug of death. Because she just kind of hugs him from behind. and he goes,
she just gingerly wraps her arm around him.
Yeah, she lovingly slides her arm around him.
It's just
neck.
like, sleep.
And he's like, "Oh, I'm in love," and passes out.
Yeah. It's been a long time since I've had the gentle caress of a woman.
Oh.
Yeah,
So-
but they're kidnapped and they're brought into. It looks like the same dungeon.
It's the same dungeon.
But now they're brought before the Sheik.
Right.
He's not even really asking them anything. He's just like, just admit you're commandos.
Yeah, just admit that you killed
And they're
my
like,
men.
no, we're showgirls. Look at
I
us.
think you're commandos.
Yeah. And
And
then he brings in a tiger. There's
Yeah, this movie has a real
full-fledged
live tiger.
And the girl's like, oh, God. Oh, no. And he's just like, tell me what I want to know, or I will feed you to the tiger one by one.
Yep. And so they pull Jan off of the chains and put her on the floor and raise her shirt up so to expose her back because tigers love that.
He says, yeah, the tiger is very hungry.
Tigers love tummies.
So
And so the tiger's just laying on
Nom,
the...
nom, nom, nom.
but now the
laying
Sheik,
on the floor.
Yeah, but now the Sheik is getting mad and he's stomping his foot. Tell me what I want to know. Tell me what I want to know. And every time he stomps his foot, they cut to a shot of a fake tiger tail
Swishing by.
whooshing back and forth under the
Narrowly missing the
Yes.
stomping foot.
So you know what's coming, and like on the third time, he stomps his foot down, which hits the tiger's tail. Tiger turns around and mauls him, and friendly tiger is mauling his trainer, sort of, which is just basically playing with him, but mauling the dude. And this somehow allows all of them to escape by beating up the guards.
Well, one was already unchained,
Right.
so she started kicking some ass, and then eventually
Untying one and then
Untying
kicking
one,
more
kicking
ass,
some ass.
and then they pair up. And
Yeah. So they get
Yeah.
away. They're in the Jeep again.
Sweet
but they're all wearing bikinis this time. And we're like, wait,
because they're
what?
going swimming.
Why?
Duh.
and they have spear guns.
Because it wasn't really established. And then it was like...
well, he did say by the lake.
By the lake.
by
yes.
the lake. Why
By
would they?
a lake.
Yeah.
So that means ditch the guns. It's spear gun time.
Spear gun
only.
time, obviously, because they might run into sharks.
Well, I don't see anything yet. Do you see anything yet?
No, I don't see anything yet. Do you see anything yet?
I don't see anything yet. Do you see anything yet?
I don't see anything yet. Keep driving. We don't see anything yet.
And then they drive like another
Like
500
the most
feet.
blatantly filler
I know.
scene.
And they drive another
ever.
500 feet. It's like, oh, there's the lake, and it's just giant fucking lake.
Yeah. It's like, how did you not see
It's
the
probably
lake?
Lake Mead.
Yeah, which they roll up on and then gingerly sort of drive towards it
Down the
downhill
slope.
I swear.
for like 5 straight minutes, just rolling.
I swear she couldn't find the parking brake.
Yeah, it's just like
Because it was
we
like
can't stop the
I was
Jeeps.
trying to put it in.
Yeah.
How does the
How Jeep
How
car
stop-
work? The Jeep,
how
baby.
stop Jeep?
the Jeep.
Jeep won't stop.
So they
Sweet
get out
Jeep won't
and they
stop.
like suit up. They start putting on
Suit up,
snorkels
yeah.
and flippers
Put on fins and
Yeah.
snorkels and a
to
mask.
swim across this lake that they could have walked across.
It's
Or
like
gone
three-
around.
Around.
Going
It's,
around. They were at the
It
edge.
is
of
like
it's a puddle.
it is 3 feet deep at most.
Yeah.
And they all have to scuba the 50 yards across the lake
Right.
to get to the castle.
The
which-
castle, which they've established
Suddenly-
in these faraway shots, this Transylvanian castle postcard that they've set
at
up.
night.
Yeah, it's in dusk. They're in full-blown daylight.
It's amazing.
Just a castle on a mountain in the desert next to a lake. What the fuck?
But then cut to them crawling through a tunnel,
Yeah,
of which
some aqueduct.
they're going to
thing.
show every one of these chicks crawling through the tunnel and complaining about crawling through the tunnel.
It's like it's wet. There's a spider.
Ow,
This
my
tunnel
knees.
is long. Why are
My
we in
knees hurt.
bikinis? Dumb.
Yep. But then they get out and two guys are talking and obviously are talking about a belly dancer or something.
Yeah, just
Something
Just
sexist.
making the universal sign for curvy woman, and that
And
intolerance won't stand.
one chick uses a spear to spear them both through the gut. And they're all like, yeah.
Yeah, fuck yeah,
Sweet.
nice job. And then
And
they go in the room.
Go in
and
the room. There's the
sun.
guy. Other guy's dead.
Yep.
Like, all right, we got the sun. Let's go back.
Right.
So
they do.
cut to them outside, going back to the 3-foot deep lake.
And then one of them suddenly has a container of gasoline, which
Yep.
apparently they've been pouring ever since they left the castle. Okay.
Yep.
I mean, giant, like, 20-gallon container of gasoline.
Which would go about, I don't know, 20 feet in
Yeah.
the desert.
But no, they've made this trail of gasoline all the way back to where they are, and then they light it, and then...
That's how we knew the one chick was the demolitions expert.
oh, okay.
Because she brought matches.
Yeah. So they light the gasoline, and the castle fucking explodes. It's a shot of the castle, which then cuts to a full screen explosion, and then like some wooden structure is burning at nighttime.
It looks like footage from an old Hercules movie because it's all wooden and it looks like an old palace. But that explosion happens, and then they've of course got to swim back across the 3 foot deep lake. Which
With
the best
son,
the best part, is that the son is still pretty much unconscious,
dead,
and they're kind of just dragging him along, and then they all kind of get out of the water, but forget him for a second.
Leave him face
and
down.
he starts actually floating, like sinking.
The actor at least went with it to where he was committed to being unconscious because he just floats. I mean, he just not like, hey, try to breathe or anything. He just goes under and floats around until finally someone's like, we should probably get the guy we're rescuing. They roll up on the runway and the plane is already going. Now this 3-seater airplane is going.
It's like a little Cessna.
Yeah, I mean, the pilot and one other person can sit comfortably in this plane.
Megaforce this ain't.
No, it is not a cargo plane.
So we've got 9 of these chicks and a hostage.
We have to paint this picture because they're rolling up in the Jeeps to catch up to this plane, and it's taxiing, and they're all waving and like, hey, wait, we got a guy, wait. And then next shot
plane doesn't give a fuck.
Next shot is Jeeps are gone, and the girls are running faster than the plane and catching up to it.
They just suddenly enter the frame running like, we've caught the plane. It's like, what? Huh?
A second ago, the Jeeps were having trouble keeping up.
Yeah, and like, so 6 of them get in.
Sure.
And then it cuts to the other 4 dragging the dude, like, come on, dude. And then they get into the plane and drag, like, the guy they're rescuing is the last one to get in the plane because he's still pretty much unconscious. They're pulling him in.
Yeah, I mean, he almost falls off the back of the plane. The one reason they were there, they're like, we're all in the plane.
They should have pushed him in first.
Nope.
No. But then somehow that plane takes off.
So
that overloaded plane.
Then cut to them back in the ambassador's office going, hey, we got your son. And Jack's like, hey, here's all your money. Things are great, right?
Everything's great.
Everyone's like, yeah,
Super
sweet. Everyone wins. And Jan's like, no.
Nuh-uh.
Somebody was feeding information. There's something wrong here. Something's fishy. And all the girls are like, who gives a fuck? We saved the guy. They paid us. Let's get out of here.
We've got the money. The guy is safe. This thing is over. What do you care? Shut up, Jan.
Yeah. Jan's like, no, it's not over.
And so the ambassador's secretary walks into the room, and Jan just punches her in the face.
Yep.
Just
says it
she's
had to
like,
be you.
Oh, hi, everybody's punch.
And her reasoning is she's the only one nobody would have suspected.
Right.
So that's why she had to be the one who was guilty.
Which then leads to them ripping off her face to reveal it's a dude.
Yep. A dude. To which they have this whole conversation where they go, at first the ambassador was like, why'd you punch Anne?
It's like Anne or Andy.
Or Andy. So they have to say that every single time
But
they
they'll
talk
change
about
Anne
it.
here or Anthony.
Anthony or Andrew
Yeah,
or
just any
Anton.
A name. And that just finally leads to the joke of them saying, what the hell is your name anyway? And he's like, Fred. Fucking Scooby-Doo ending at the end of this movie.
Yeah, but yes, it is literally Scooby-Doo because they yank a mask off him and it's a completely different person with a different build and everything.
Yeah.
I would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for the Hell Squad.
Catch the Hell Squad girls next time in Reno.